Hello again, everyone. This is Jan Monahan for Wrapping with Jan. I'm glad you joined me today. I know you're busy, and I appreciate it that you're taking the time to be with me. Today is another Washi Tape Wednesday, and I'm going to be making a celebration card. And this could be a card for, a birthday, an engagement, an anniversary, retirement. This is just kind of a generic let's be happy card. And the washi tape I'm using today is from American Crafts, and it's called Celebrate Gold. I got this from the dollar store. I don't know if this is still available. You could probably find it on Amazon or eBay, but I don't know that American Crafts still offers it. We have some sequins to match, and these particular sequins I got out of one of my Hero Arts kits. This came from the Roaring Twenties kit, and I'm going to be borrowing that from the kit and using it here. I've got a card base, and a card front, and I've also got an envelope. And I've decided to make it a little dramatic and use black. If and when you decide to use this, make sure that you have a white gel pen or something that writes white, because no ballpoint pen is going to show up. All right, we're going to, well, maybe we aren't. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm going to start, and this particular washi tape is much more forgiving than some of the other ones that I have worked with. It comes off very easily, and as far as I can see right now, it doesn't wrinkle. I may change my mind later. The tape that I have here has words on it, and this is a word of, I guess it's a word of caution. I asked my son, and then I asked my husband, I said, should the words be going up or going down? And my husband said they should be going up, and my son said they should be going down. So I guess the best way to advise you on this is don't make the words upside down. Most of the washi tape that we work with just has designs, and it really isn't going to matter one way or another which way the tape goes. But if there is a word on it, just take your time and make sure people can read it. This is the first time that I have put washi tape on an envelope. And what I'm going to do, as a test subject here, I'm going to mail this to myself and see how the washi tape holds up, if it comes off or gets lost or something like that. Even if it does, if the post office can still see the address, there won't be a problem. I'm using a Teflon bone folder from Simon Says Stamp, and this is just a little extra insurance that the washi tape will stay put. And as always, start from the back and trim what you don't need. Don't want to ruin your envelope. Anytime you're working with a dry adhesive, like washi tape or double-sided tape, it is advisable to use a pair of scissors with a Teflon coating. That way it just saves a lot of time rather than having to pick off all these little pieces from your scissors. All right, I'm doing the back of the envelope now, and I'm making sure that I've left enough room for my return address. I don't think I left enough for the front of the card. As we finish up this envelope, we want to make sure that everything is straight, and if there are words on it, like there is this particular envelope, then make sure they can read it and it's not backwards. Take a bone folder and give it a little extra insurance that it's going to stick, then go ahead and clip the tails, and that we can get going on the card. I'm trying to keep up with my New Year's resolution and using stamps I haven't used for a while. This one with the balloons is from Dynamics, and I'll bet it's been 5 or 6 years since I've used it, but we'll put those on there. I had to make this card over 2 or 3 times due to some mistakes that I was making. First of all, we're going to be putting anti-static powder on this card, and I tried to do that first, and with the anti-static powder, the washi tape doesn't work. It doesn't stick. I don't know what the powder does, but it doesn't make it won't adhere. I said at the beginning of the video that this washi tape was a little bit more forgiving than some other ones that I have worked with, and that was a good thing, because as you can see there, I have to take it off and put it on again. I didn't like the spacing. I chose black and gold for this card because I think that black and gold, those colors are genderless. I don't think a man would be upset if he received this card, and I'm sure a woman would be very happy to get it. All right, we are turning those tails down. Okay, we are finished working with our washi tape, and it's time to go on to the rubber stamping. I'm putting the anti-static powder on at the very last because it does interrupt with the adhesiveness of the washi tape. I'm working with VersaFine ink. This is a very sticky ink, and it dries slowly. We'll be using some gold embossing powder with this. I have not used this stamp in a while, and I'm going to be making sure that I get the image right. I don't have the advantage of my Misty, and I'm not sure of the impression, so I am going to be muscling through this. Quite frankly, I don't know what we did before the Misty came along. I ruined countless projects because either the stamp moved or the paper moved or there wasn't enough ink, and I tried to line it up and it just didn't work. So let's see how this old-fashioned way of doing things. Well, okay, that's not too bad. All right. Let's get the gold embossing powder on here, and I'll get my heat tool and hit it with my heat tool. I think embossing powder is to blame for my love of rubber stamping. I didn't know embossing powder existed. I only had a few stamps, and I had gone to a friend's house and she was embossing, and as soon as she taught me, I was hooked and I had a new illness. So, all right, we're going to finish this and get our heat tool, and let's see this gold come to life. As I get my heat tool and start melting this, it's important to remember to keep the nozzle of the heat gun away from newly melted embossing powder. I went crazy one time, and I went through when the embossing powder was already melted and in a liquid form. And once again, I ruined the project. But just make sure your heat gun is good and hot. Okay, let's finish this card up. I'm using Wendy Vecchi's perfect card adhesive for all my sequins here. And this adhesive dries clear, and it dries matte and not clear. Clear means that you'll be able to see it, but for the most part it dries matte. And these sequins are pretty big, so I put rather large dots of adhesive there, and let's hope they stay. As you can see, one line of that washi tape buckled, and I believe that was from the heat gun. So, an important safety tip, folks. Probably the best way to do that is to cover it up with a piece of cardstock, or maybe just a thin book, so that the heat stays away from it, and you won't hurt your project. I was hoping that these sequins would show up a little bit better. I'm hoping with the unaided eye that you can see the gold and the black. All right, let's put this card together. I've got the card base. Well, I think I've got the card base. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, I've got the card base. And get that on there. And there's the envelope. I'd like to thank everybody for taking time out of their busy schedule to watch my videos. I'll be back next week with a Valentine Washi Tape Wednesday. And until then, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and give me thumbs up. And we will see you next time.